Welcome back to Finding the Good Life. I'm probably not alone in having just recently paid off my student loans, like 2 years ago. I paid them dutifully for 30 years, and boy, how I wish I would have done things differently so that I would not have been burdened by them, especially the large undergraduate ones. Our next guest, Christina Ellis, is the author of Confessions of a Scholarship Winner and How to Graduate Debt-Free, and is a sought-after speaker on college prep and finance. Christina is also a radio personality, appearing as co-host on The Dave Ramsey Show, one of the most widely watched shows in the world. She has helped thousands of students earn a debt-free education by sharing practical wisdom from her personal experience of earning over $500,000 in college scholarship. Christina, where were you 30 years ago when I needed you?
Hey,
it's an honor
I'm
to
here
have
now.
you. It's an honor to have you here on our show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You have an amazing story behind you. Why don't we start with that? Just tell us, you tell us the story of how you grew up and the turning point in your life that really changed things for you.
Yeah, so my freshman year of high school, my mom sat me down and she said, Christina, I love you and I believe in you, but there's just no way that I can support you financially once you graduate from high school. You need to figure out your own way to pay for college. And at first I was kind of shocked. I was like, why are you telling me this? I am a freshman in high school. What can I do about it? But at the same time, I knew that she was right and just trying to be real with me. Whenever I was 7 years old, my dad, he passed away after a long and painful battle with brain cancer. And my mom, she's a fighter. She made the most of the situation. She raised us so well, but the reality was that she couldn't afford to pay for our education. She was an immigrant from Venezuela, and she just didn't have the money. But what she didn't have in finances, she wanted to give us in motivation. So when she had that conversation, she told me about scholarships and was like, hey, Christina, if you work hard right now, you can win scholarships for college and go to whatever school you want completely debt free. People will pay for your education. And that sounded super interesting to me. I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds incredible. So I started reading a bunch of books and articles and interviewing alumni from my high school. I was a little bit intimidated because I didn't have perfect grades and I wasn't a star athlete. So at first I was like, can I actually do this? But I learned that people from all sorts of backgrounds win scholarships. So I got pretty excited about that. And I built my resume throughout high school. I just did a bunch of activities to add to my resume. I took on a lot of volunteer projects. I created different opportunities, took up leadership roles. And then my senior year of high school, I treated the scholarship application process like a part-time job. I just applied and applied and applied, and thank God it paid off. I was able to win over $500,000 in scholarships for school and go to my dream school, Vanderbilt University, for undergrad and Belmont University for grad school, completely debt-free.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the journey you took was exemplary for so many people. I mean, we have a selfish motivation.
We have one in one in college and one getting ready to do all those applications you're talking about. And it is a full-time job. Just filling out the FAFSA was so hard to do. But I've also, I grew up pretty much like you, and I had to make my way through college, through scholarships, and I did the same thing. You got to plan way in advance of senior year if you're going to do that, I think.
Well, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth the time. So, I often tell students, if you spend 2 hours filling out an application that allows you to win $1,000 scholarship, that's like making $500 per hour. Like, where else are you going to make that kind of money in high school? So even though it can be a lot, it's still worth it because it pays off so much in the long run.
Well, there was one passage in your book where you gave an example. You went through what it's like when a person graduates from from college with a good job, quote unquote good job, and say they're making $57,000 a year was the number that you had in your book, and you broke down the expenses they'll have, and you showed with the loans it doesn't. Can you go through that exercise?
Yeah, so when I was going through my college tours and seeing these crazy tuition prices, what I kept hearing when I saw these numbers was, oh, it's okay, you're going to be able to pay it all off because of the great job that you're going to get from our school's degree. But I like to walk students through an actual budget to see, okay, if you take out this much money in loans, this is what your payment's going to be. And then I walk them through the average budget of somebody who's graduated from college. And in the example I used, you could see that after you've paid for your basic modest expenses and then a massive student loan, the example that I used was, if you get a $25,000 scholarship and you have to take out $25,000 in loans to pay for the rest, you might think that that's great at the time, but that's $100,000 in loans after graduation. And in this example, it's like you couldn't pay your bills by $600 per month with a typical budget. So it's like the reality of what student loans can actually look like after graduation can be pretty dramatic. And it's important that students understand what those numbers mean and what that looks like, because a lot of them, they haven't paid for their own insurance. They haven't made a mortgage or a rent payment. So it's
Right.
like,
They don't
have a clue.
They think it's just going to fall from the sky and they'll get it from somewhere. We have to take a break, but you'll be right with us?
yeah, sounds great.
Okay. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Happy dog, happy life. Yeah, we get it. There's an app for pet parents like us. Buddies by Blue Buffalo. Download and sign up now to get a free bag of treats.
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. Call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Hi, it's me again. Listen to this. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check every month may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Check your zip code. It could be dynamite. Call now.
Call 1-800-397-5142. That's 1-800-397-5142 now.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-761-0972. That's 1-800-761-0972 now.